A very good day to you, Mr. Vignesh, and my fellow friends. Today, my group and I will present to you about our MNC, which is Walmart. Before that, let me introduce to you to our group members first. First of all, there's Tilagan, Gong William, Kelvin Lee Bakin, Brian Chanlian Chi, and also Teng Hao Wee. Next. What is Walmart? Walmart is an independent American retail store company which is founded back in 1969. Walmart was founded by a guy named Sam Walton in a small HQ in Bentonville, Arkansas. Walmart has a world's largest company by revenue and also one of the largest private employer. Walmart has around 2.2 million employees all around the world. Walmart is also publicly listed on the New York Exchange in the year 1972. Getting to know Walmart. There are actually three types of retail formats available. First one will be the Walmart Supercenters, aka Walmart for short. In the Walmart Supercenters has a hypermarket that sells food, drinks, and also other provisions. In the Walmart Supercenter has a McDonald's outlet as well. Second one, which is the Walmart Discount Store. In the Walmart Discount Store has a discount departmental stores which sell discounted clothing. And also, they sell limited groceries in the Walmart Discount Store. Last one, Walmart Neighborhood Market. The Walmart Neighborhood Market is a small grocery store which has the capacity to sell almost anything. That's because it said the Walmart Neighborhood Market is a smaller version of the Walmart Supercenter. What's in it for Malaysians? Walmart always has reasonable pricing. From electrical appliances to provisions to groceries, they always have reasonable pricing. Second of all, good quality products. Walmart promises to always sell good quality products to their customers. Third of all, unique products. Walmart always has their imported goods also with their reasonable price. For the employees, you do not worry about the employees as because Walmart can expatriate managers to train them for the upcoming team in Malaysia. As well as that, to decrease conflict and miscommunication, they can enforce specialization. Specialization is like a division of labor, so then they can decrease conflict and also miscommunication between others. As well as the headquarters must be placed in a strategic location as because the customer service center and also a human resource department will be strategically located there. Thank you.
My name is William and I will be talking about the global trends. Even before the pandemic took place, it was obvious that the growth of physical retailing has passed its peak and started to show decline. Although physical retailing will regrow after the post-pandemic period, it is clear that solely relying on physical stores will not be as effective anymore. Therefore, the first trend is the evolvement of business models. Nowadays, those who do not adapt to the current trend of online business will fail to compete against those who do so. During this pandemic, online platforms are seen as a new form of shopping malls by consumers. Hence, it is crucial for retailers to establish an online platform to serve customer needs. The return on profits will be obvious and it serves as a competitive advantage against competitors in the industry. As for firms who do not possess the resource nor the capacity to establish their own platform, it is best for them to partner with others. Besides, retailers can engage in digital shopping experiences through online platforms. Establishing shopping holidays could be an opportunity for online retailers to engage with customers in the real world. For instance, China's Alibaba created Singles Day while Amazon created Prime Day. Walmart has also participated in existing events such as Black Friday sales. It will boost profits for retailers as well as setting them apart from its competitors. The second trend is providing convenience to consumers by broadening a variety of services offered by a firm. Firms can provide convenience to its consumers by offering services such as delivery services. The delivery service has been practiced by many firms, including Marks & Spencer's, IKEA, and other powerhouses. For instance, Marks & Spencer's has partnered with Deliveroo, a food delivery service, to broaden delivery services. Due to the closure of physical retail stores, the demand for same-day and online deliveries have shown a significant increase. Some firms have also resorted to broaden their service offerings. For instance, sportwear brands such as Story Sport and Nike are now offering fitness classes and events instead of solely relying on selling sportswear products. Nowadays, convenience is a major factor that leads to an enhanced retail experience. Consumers are willing to pay more for convenience, hence, firms should invest in this matter. The third trend is to purpose moves to the forefront. Since the onset of pandemic, the government, non-governmental agencies and organizations have shown clear goals of prioritizing people above profits. Additionally, it is extremely important to maintain a positive brand image to attract public brand acceptance. Majority of consumers stated that a brand's position in the social and political issue would determine their purchasing decision. Brands that positively impact persons' lives are likely to grow 2.5 times more than any other brands within a year. Consumers that want firms to stand for something greater than the goods and services that they offer or the dividend that they give back to their shareholders. For instance, Dior, Ralph Lauren, and Burberry have contributed in the production of PPEs. Their contribution will generate a positive brand image and public goodwill and customer loyalty. The fourth trend is to expand on private labels. Firms that are practicing private labels include Walmart, Tesco, and Target. It helps retailers increase profit margins compared to brand name products. Retailers have claimed that these private labels' qualities have improved while providing value proposition to its consumers. Private labels also offer some advantages to retailers, such as an extended product line. It enables retailers to deliver a broader range of products that are desirable to cost-conscious and premium consumers. It also allows for control over marketing, which enables retailers to match products to local needs and preference. Moving on to the core competencies, one of Walmart's core competency is its purchasing power. Due to its massive purchasing power, it provides an immense leverage when negotiating with its distributors. Hence, it allows them to sell their goods and services at a lower price compared to its competitors. They are able to capitalize on price advantages because they are capable of producing relatively large amounts of revenue, therefore being able to generate profit and maintain operating costs relative to competition at a lower profit margin. It acts as a competitive advantage for Walmart because it will be difficult for competitors to imitate. The next core competency is its supply chain management. The innovation in its supply chain began with the elimination of certain chain links since the beginning. Walmart started partnering directly with suppliers in the 80s to lower prices and control the supply chain more effectively. Under Walmart's vendor-managed inventory, manufacturers were responsible for managing their products in the Walmart warehouses. Hence, they are able to predict merchandise and order fulfillment of close to 100%. Organizations usually go global to increase sales. It will increase chances of boosting overall revenues while minimizing operational costs. Moreover, it helps to attract a bigger customer base. Organizations should look beyond the domestic market and look at the potential growth that they can obtain internationally. If the organization possesses unique products or technological capabilities that pose a competitive advantage over competitors in the foreign market, it will contribute to the success of the business expansion. Next, organizations expand globally to seek entry into new markets. When they have access to new markets, they are given an opportunity to develop a large customer base. Moreover, internationalization has allowed organizations to enter untapped markets quicker through the elimination of trade barriers and tariffs among nations. It also helped organizations to diversify their operations across various countries while reducing the risk of decelerating demand. Besides, some organizations enter untapped markets to enjoy first-mover advantage. They can be the pioneer in the new market and establish a position and reputation there. Saturation of the host country market could lead to the expansion of global market. It occurs when the demand for particular goods and services have decreased in the host country market. It occurs due to a variety of reasons, such as increased competition or the product is outdated. All product services experience a product cycle development at some point. As the organization expands to a market where the products are relatively new and unique, its demand will rise. This process is part of the product cycle theory. I will pass this on to the next speaker.
Presenting strategy employed. First strategy is multi-format strategy. Mexico Walmart employed a multi-format approach to build various types of stores to suit most requirements and market demands to help Walmart gain greater customer concentration. The Bodega Aurrera store chain is a tribute to the company's potential to dominate the market. These markets have various concepts, such as discount store, convenience store, targeting different groups of consumers in different regions of Mexico. This approach focuses on meeting the needs of various consumer groups. Moving on to the retail format development strategy. This strategy has boosted the brand recognition and brand loyalty of Walmart. In order to improve the supply chains and customer service, Walmart Canada focuses on this strategy. Store equipped with technology can use the device to monitor tag product in the store. Well, in the third strategy, which is cost leadership strategy, cost leadership strategy is the major strategy employed by Walmart. It purports to emphasize the lower cost of relative to the cost of competitors, but it does not neglect other aspects such as service and product quality. Furthermore, Walmart decided to choose this cost leadership strategy because Walmart plans to reach a lower cost of a product or a service than its competition. Besides, the cost leadership strategy allows the company to obtain a higher average profit because the products can be sold at any price, but the profit margin with lower costs are greater. Competing companies will have higher costs, so they will not be able to get the same percentage of profit from the production. Moving on to the organization structure employed and reason. According to Jessica Lombardo in 2019, Walmart has hierarchical functional organization structure that can help them to promote and retain their higher position in retail sector. Hierarchical structure and functional-based definition are the elements of the structure. The organization structure refers to the vertical line of order and approval in entire organizational structure. For instance, with the exception of the CEO, each employee has a direct superior. On the other hand, the company's organizational structure is based on definition of function and includes groups employees executing those tasks. For example, Walmart has a human resource management department. Furthermore, the key function of Walmart's hierarchical functional organizational structure is the power of group management to control the whole organization. For example, the later plans and strategies developed by the company corporate headquarters may be forwarded first to the district manager and then to the store manager. In fact, the customer base of Walmart is an essential aspect of the corporation. Walmart has retail stores all over the country, with many different cultures and nationalities shopping for a range of items in their stores. They must also concentrate on their products on their area so that they can provide for local consumer and keep them coming back. Furthermore, by offering a range of items, regional location and department store superstore creations, they have made it possible for themselves to be the king of influence in the retail industry. There are several differences in company organizational functions, such as marketing, finance, human resource, and operations, which have enabled them to form a positive line of business structure.
So thank you, Brian. My name is Howie. I'll be talking about the target county suitability. So to select a suitable target county, managers should really identify the demands and needs of the audience. So in this case, it was suggested that the Walmart should intervene and expand the business to Malaysia. So there are a few points of the target county suitability. First and foremost is the populations. So Malaysia has a population of 32 million people with a growing rate at 1.34%. And this shows that Malaysia is a well-developed country, even though it's not as high as the US, but it's considered as moderate developed infrastructure country with a real well-structured and wealthy country. So despite the populations, Malaysia also categorized in different cultures and religions such as Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, traditional Chinese religions, and others. So this enhances the opportunity for Walmart to penetrate into Malaysia retail market by operating the stores, the outer stores. So moreover, there are 76% of Malaysia populations live in the urban areas such as the KL, Selangor, Ipoh, and Johor Bahru, with an urbanization rate at 2.13%. So in the capital city, which is Kuala Lumpur, it has approximately 7,564 million people living in the states. And for the Johor Bahru, there's about like 983,000 of inhabitants, and Ipoh has 786,000 of inhabitants. So there's a research Selangor and Kuala Lumpur has provided a huge amount of revenue. So in terms of that, Walmart should operate few retail outlets at the Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Ipoh, and Johor Bahru as a beginning. Besides, there are many other foreign retailers also looking forward to invest in Malaysia because of the high purchasing power in local consumer. So according to Malaysian business law and regulations, there are few restrictions that are used to control the French supermarket to expand and enter Malaysia. So, however, there are few successful examples where the foreign retailers have engaged and expanded business successfully in Malaysia. For example, the Tesco and Giant. So with that in mind, Walmart should really enter into Malaysia retail market because the entry will bring huge benefit for both parties, including the Malaysian economy and Walmart itself. The entry of Walmart can earn a huge profits for itself, and eventually will bring the job opportunity for Malaysia. And in addition, the entry of Walmart simultaneously will benefit the consumer by providing additional places to shop. Moreover, since the last few decades, Malaysia has become a favorite spot for foreign retailers to invest, not only drastically increasing economic prospect, but also the educated workforce. Throughout the history, Malaysia has been a colorful country because of the multi-religious. However, this will not be a problem for the foreign entrepreneur to deal with the local business because of the well-educated workforce. So in Malaysia, the majority of workers and employees are highly educated and require different skills for an organization to function correctly. So hence, the entrepreneur will find it is not difficult to communicate with the local employees and managers. So for instance, the manager of Walmart could enter into Malaysia at a higher educated state such as Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Ipoh, and Johor Bahru. It can be ensured that the operations of the retail store could be functions productively and effectively, where the manager also can communicate well with the local managers and local employees. Into the next is the consumer lifestyle. So the consumer lifestyle in Malaysia has been evolving due to the rising education level. Under this condition, it is reasonable that the Malaysia are becoming more westernized and sophisticated. So hence, Malaysia consumer are becoming more high price sensitive, where they are willing to pay more for better quality and service, and also for the brand conscious. So aside from that, the quality of lifestyle in Malaysia is becoming much better because every year there will be a vast number of tourists visit Malaysia because of the nature, beauty, and also the cultural diversity of Malaysia. Hence, Roma is the well-known retail store in the world with their trustful products and services. The manager in Walmart should enter into Malaysia retail markets. Moreover, the consumer in Malaysia are displaying a growing preference of global brands than the local manufactured products, where it is much obvious in the urban working areas such as Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Ipoh, and Johor Bahru. Therefore, Walmart should really enter into Malaysia retail markets at these states. Next is cultural differences. So first and foremost, communications in cultural differences is the important key towards success. If the business fails in translation, it will bring a lot of troubles and risk. So we all know English is the international language. However, if one can speak the world language or more, it will be easier in the marketplace. So Malaysia is categorized with different religions and also cultures. So hence, there are three main languages which are commonly spoken in Malaysian society, such as Malaysian, Mandarin, and Tamil. But English is our second official language. It is quite similar in language culture between the US and Malaysia, as both of them have the common language in English. With that, it would be no problem for a multinational in US to enter and communicate with the local employees. As a suggestion, if foreign business wants to enter Malaysian market, it was suggested that the business set English as first default language in management or the formal communications, while Malay, Mandarin, and Tamil set as second default language when it comes to the indirect or informal communications. So most importantly, English is the common language between Malaysia and US, and it's easier for Walmart to in US to communicate and manage the operations. Furthermore, the workplace etiquette is one of the cultural differences in multinational corporates. So different countries have their different cultural perceptions. The workplace etiquette is defined as the expectations for social behavior in workplace, and it includes the body language, the behavior, the value and attitudes, the manner, and also the costume and dress code. So putting together, the differences of workplace has their different approaches to the professional way of communications or others. So for example, the address code. So it is a big consideration for formality address with the colleague and business partner from different countries. For instance, Asia countries such as China, South Korea, and Singapore and Malaysia, they tend to use a formal address by calling Mr. and Mrs. with the surname. However, for the Americans and Canadians, they tend to address only the first name. So it would be inappropriate if it's used to address the businessman and all the colleague in Asian country, and this might be a difficulty for Walmart US to manage. So besides, the concept of punctuality also differs between the country. The ideas of on time often lead to the misunderstanding or negative cultural perceptions. For instance, Italian colleague may arrive several meetings late after the scheduled meeting time, where they consider it as on time, while on the other hand, Malaysians and Americans, they may arrive several minutes earlier before the meeting starts. So hence it's easier for Americans to expand their business in Malaysia because the idea of punctuality and the management is quite similar. So apart from that, the attitude also differs between countries, where it includes the workplace confrontation, also assuming for the working hours. So in some countries, the working hours are short. According to their labor laws, such as France, the people in France might not work more than 4.5 hours, while in Malaysia and US, the working hours are quite similar. So in this case, the managers in Walmart from the US might find out it's quite easy to arrange and indicating the Walmart in Malaysia. So because the workplace etiquette is in Malaysia is quite similar to the Americans. But not to mention, Malaysians also tend to be more westernized and sophisticated as the Americans do. Moving on, the organization's hierarchy also differs between the countries and cultures. So in real life, the organization hierarchy vary widely between countries and cultures in the management system. So in some countries such as US, their junior and middle management position seems to have the urge and comfort to voice up during the meeting, questioning the senior decisions and expressing their thoughts and opinions. And these attitudes often reflect the country's society, value, and also social equality. So for instance, in countries such as Malaysia and Japan, they tend to state the relative status and respect for seniority. So Malaysians are quite sensitive to the title and the positions within an organization. So however, this type of social hierarchy helps to define the role and responsibility across the organizations, where it also shows the senior management positions and command should be respected and expect certain formality from the junior management. So in this case, Walmart will find difficult to manage and maintain the management system when expanding in Malaysia because the organization hierarchy culture is quite different. So, and also because the Americans prioritize the social equality, where Malaysians prioritize the title and positions within the organizations. So from that, the managers from the US should indicate the knowledge of the importance of social equality in the organization, or they could adapt to Malaysian hierarchy culture. And that's for my part. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Tilagan, and today I'll be presenting about the legislation challenges in Malaysia. Malaysia is a country on the move, spurred by high technology, a strong knowledge base, and capital-intensive industries. But having prior knowledge of the legal frameworks in the country is essential for foreign firms. The World Bank and International Finance Corporation (IFC) ranked Malaysia in the 15th place for ease of doing business. But companies should be aware that there are still several challenges they need to go through when setting up a business. First up is starting a business and the procedures involved. There are 9 procedures involved when setting up a business in Malaysia, which usually takes up to 2 weeks to complete. An application should be sent to the Companies Commission of Malaysia (CCM) to check the availability of the proposed company's name before the company secretary prepares other important documents and file it together with the CCM. Once these are done, the company is allowed to register for a bank account, GST, income tax, social security, and employee provident fund. Moving on to tariffs. Malaysia's tariffs are typically imposed on a value-add basis with a simple average applied tariff of 6.1% for industrial goods. For certain goods such as alcohol, wine, poultry, and pork, Malaysia charges specific duties that represent incredibly high effective tariff rates. In 2018, Ministry of Finance announced that SST is chargeable on manufacture of taxable goods in Malaysia with a rate of 5% or 10% depending on the type of product. Moving on to protecting intellectual property. Foreign companies should consider obtaining intellectual property rights protection in Malaysia before introducing their product or services to the local market. The IP system in Malaysia is administered by the Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia, or known as MyIPO. Foreign IP owners may register for IP rights for trademarks, patents, industrial designs, and geographical indications. When filing these IP applications, a local agent or attorney and an address for service in Malaysia is generally required. In Malaysia, copyrights and geographical indications are protected without the need for any applications or registration, but one may apply for copyright voluntary notification or certificate for geographical indication as a prima facie evidence, just in case. And other intellectual property protection includes trade secrets, such as formulas, data, confidential information, only if the owner provides appropriate steps to maintain secrecy. Moving on to corporate social responsibility in Malaysia. It is compulsory for every listed companies in Malaysia to comply with CSR programs following the order of the International Trade and Industry Ministry Secretary General Dato Isham Ishak. First up is volunteering programs. Volunteering programs are usually all about giving back to the community and to the society without having to use a huge sum of money. One prime example is the Yayasan Saim Darbi. Their purpose is to nurture volunteerism and foster 5 pillars of causes, which are environment, education, community, arts and culture, and health and sports. One of their biggest achievement is raising 140 million ringgit through this volunteer program. Moving on to environmental donations and environmental related programs. It is very important for every company, not only in Malaysia but all around the world, to be eco-friendly, go green, and maintain sustainability. And in Malaysia, it is highly encouraged for a company to contribute to the nature or environment. One prime example is the Petroleum Nasional Berhad, or commonly known as Petronas. They are known for their environmental related CSR activities. One of their major projects is based on biodiversity, which aims to preserve nature parks in Malaysia. Lastly is providing scholarships. Companies provide merit-based or need-based scholarships to university and college students. This is to encourage our upcoming generation and the young talent. One example is CIMB Bank. They provide financial aid to help students with their tuition fees, insurance allowance, and other related fees, at the same time providing professional development support. Their aim is to empower young talent and create a better future for them. Now we're going to take a look at the human resource practices. First up is Walmart's recruitment criteria for store workers and managerial positions. When it comes to store workers, there are no specific criteria needed. Walmart does a very basic check on the person's education, training, and criminal background. For hourly sales position, Walmart emphasizes on interpersonal skills because that person will be communicating with the customers most of the time. For managerial positions, Walmart emphasizes 2 skills, analytical and problem-solving skills for the person to be able to solve conflicts in the workplace. For education, that person is required to have a degree or technical school certification in the relevant field or business. For experience, that person is required to have 1 year supervisory experience in maintenance department or 2-year Walmart logistics maintenance experience. Now we're going to take a look at Malaysia's labor market. We're only going to focus on the education attainment and the skill. If we take a look at this chart, in the second quarter of 2020, 55.9% of the total employed persons, which is more than half of the employed persons, has secondary education, followed by those with tertiary education stood at 30.8%. In terms of skills, Semi-skilled employees dominated the labor supply market with 59.1%, followed by skilled employees with 28.6%, while for low-skilled workers dropped 0.5% from the previous quarter in 2019 to 12.8% in the second quarter of 2020. As the result of increase in unemployment and decrease in employed persons due to the COVID, in quarter of 2020, labor force in Malaysia stood at 15.68 million persons. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the differences in human resource practices of United States and Malaysia. The first aspect is recruitment. The recruitment system in the United States is neither position-based nor strongly career-based. Direct application is conducted for entry into public sectors, and interviews are conducted for specific posts in that sector. Usually preference is given to military veterans, but no other diversity policies are applied in the recruitment process. Compared to Malaysia, firms heavily rely on external sources to fill in vacancies for their job because it's much more cheaper and faster. They tend to hire foreign workers under the terms and conditions of Malaysia's employment of foreign workers policy. Unlike United States, ethnicity influences the recruitment process in Malaysia due to the discrimination and quota system. Moving on to employer appraisals. In United States, HR decisions are made using performance assessment. It is mandatory for every employee to go through this assessment because it plays a major role in their career advancement. There are three criteria assessed, which is outputs, competencies, and interpersonal skills assessed and provided with fair assessment. Compared to Malaysia, appraisals are conducted annually. The criteria used were rather broad than specific like United States, and mostly were unspecified standards of performance, behavior, and personality. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the payment aspect. In the United States, statute set the base salaries and is adjusted by the President or the Congress. And the base salaries are indexed to the Employment Cost Index. Certain factors affect the pay levels like job content, seniority level, experience, previous salary levels, and number of years in similar positions affected into pay levels. In Malaysia, basic wages are paid according to agreed levels. There are two compensation systems. First, blue-collar workers were paid a fixed monthly salary based on the job category and grade level. Second system is for those general and production workers who were paid daily rated wages. There was an absence of performance-based pay with the exception of those who received commission. With that, I pass it on to Kelvin for the conclusion. Thank you.
In conclusion, Walmart is a world-renowned store in the world. It offers many different types of products and services. It's also said because Walmart only offers to sell good quality products to be sold in their store. Walmart uses different types of strategies, such as the multi-format strategy, which is to improve on customer concentration. The other type of strategy is having a low pricing strategy. This is to decrease the competition between other retail stores. Walmart would be a great retail store in Malaysia as because Malaysians only purchase good quality products. Worry not as because Walmart only promises to sell good quality products in their stores. While with the COVID-19 pandemic, it is also possible for Walmart to be established in Malaysia as because with e-commerce techniques as well as doorstep deliveries, customers can purchase products and ingredients from Walmart. In my honest opinion, and in a nutshell, Walmart is a great retail store that can be established in Malaysia. Thank you.